If you're the person solving every problem, answering every question, checking every detail, and making every decision, you may be getting a lot done. But are you actually leading? I'm Sonia Jenkins, and welcome to another episode of The Leadership Shift. In this session, we're going to explore 5 mindset shifts that can change the way you lead, from doing everything yourself to developing people who can think, contribute, and take greater ownership. Because here's the reality: many people become leaders because they were very good at doing the work. They were dependable. They solved problems. They knew the answers. And when something needed to get done, people knew they could count on them. Those strengths may have helped you become successful. But the behaviors that made you successful as an individual contributor aren't always the same behaviors that will make you successful as a leader. At some point, you have to make a shift. Becoming a leader often requires us to let go of some of the very habits that helped us become successful in the first place. The challenge is recognizing when those habits are no longer serving us or the people we lead. And if you find leadership conversations like this valuable, take a moment to like this video and subscribe to The Leadership Shift. We're building a community focused on becoming more intentional, effective leaders who develop others and build stronger teams. Now, let's explore 5 mindset shifts that can change not only how you lead, but how you think about leadership. The first shift is moving from doing to enabling. One of the hardest transitions for new leaders is moving from doing the work to enabling other people to do the work successfully. Before leadership, you may have been rewarded for your individual contribution, for how much you could accomplish. How quickly did you solve the problem? How much could people depend on you? Then you become a leader. And suddenly, your instinct to jump in and get things done can actually work against you. Someone struggles with a task, so you take over. Someone brings you a problem, so you solve it. Something isn't moving quickly enough, so you do it yourself. And in the moment, that can feel like good leadership. After all, the problem got solved. But if this becomes your normal approach, something else happens. Your team learns to depend on you rather than developing greater confidence and capability themselves. And you become the bottleneck. So the question is, how do you help other people succeed? That's the shift. Your value as a leader is no longer measured only by what you accomplish. It's increasingly reflected in what becomes possible through the people you lead. The next time you're tempted to take over, ask yourself, does this situation really require me to do this? Or could I help someone else succeed at doing it? Sometimes you absolutely need to step in. But don't let stepping in become your default. The second shift is moving from reacting to responding. Leadership doesn't eliminate frustration. People will make mistakes. Deadlines will be missed. Priorities will change. Someone will eventually say or do something that catches you completely off guard. The leadership question isn't whether you'll experience frustration. It's what you do next. When we're frustrated, it's easy to move quickly toward judgment. Why can't they get this right? We've already talked about this. Why do I have to keep dealing with this? But a leadership mindset creates space between what happens and how you respond. Instead of immediately asking, whose fault is this? Try, what's happening here? Instead of, why can't they get it together? Try, what am I not seeing? And before reacting, ask, what response will help move this situation forward? How to practice the shift. Create what I call a leadership pause. It might only be 5 seconds. Sometimes it may mean saying, let me think about that, or tell me more about what happened. That small pause gives you an opportunity to ask a powerful question. What does this situation need from me as the leader? Sometimes leadership is found in that small space between impulse and intention. The third shift is moving from telling to asking. One of the hardest beliefs for some leaders to let go of is, I'm the leader, I'm supposed to know the answer. And yes, sometimes your team needs an answer. Sometimes they need a decision. Sometimes they need your expertise, but they don't necessarily need you to do their thinking for them. Imagine an employee comes to you and says, what should I do about this? Your instinct may be to immediately tell them, but what if you asked, what do you think we should do? That one question changes the conversation. You might follow it with, what options have you considered? What have you tried? What do you think the risks are? What would you recommend? Now you're doing something much more valuable than solving one problem. You're helping someone develop the ability to solve future problems. How to practice the shift. Here's something simple you can try this week. Replace one answer with one question. Before automatically giving your solution, ask one thoughtful question first. This doesn't mean withholding help. It means creating an opportunity for someone else to think. Because if you're always the person with the answer, you may unintentionally teach people to keep bringing their thinking back to you. But when you ask good questions, you help develop judgment, confidence, and ownership. The fourth shift is moving from controlling to developing. When leaders feel responsible for results, control can feel safe. Check everything. Approve everything. Stay involved in every decision. After all, if you're accountable for the outcome, shouldn't you make sure everything is done correctly? To a point, yes. But there is a difference between appropriate oversight and unnecessary control. A leadership mindset asks, have I made the expectation clear? Does this person understand what success looks like? Do they have the skills and resources they need? Have we established appropriate checkpoints? And then, have I given them enough room to take ownership? Strong leaders don't make themselves indispensable by keeping everything centered around them. They build capability around themselves. How to practice the shift. Think differently about delegation. Don't delegate only because you're overloaded. Delegate for development. Ask, what could I give someone that would help them grow? Maybe it's leading part of a meeting, owning a small project, presenting an update, handling a conversation, or empowering your employee to make a decision you would normally make. Development doesn't mean abandoning someone with a responsibility they're not ready for. It means providing the right combination of challenge, clarity, support, and autonomy, then allowing them to stretch. And finally, the fifth shift is moving from improving to empowering. This final shift may be the most personal. Many of us spend years building our careers by proving what we can do. We become known for being knowledgeable, dependable, capable, the person who gets things done, and there's nothing wrong with excellence. But leadership eventually asks us to redefine what success looks like. Because if your sense of value still comes primarily from being the person who knows the most, solves the most, or accomplishes the most, it can become difficult to step back and allow other people to shine. A leadership mindset begins asking different questions. Not only, what did I accomplish this week? But who did I help become more capable? Who became more confident because I invested in them? Where did I coach instead of taking over? Who did I give an opportunity to step up? And here's one of my favorites. What did my team accomplish without needing me in the middle of it? That's a different leadership scorecard. How to practice the shift. At the end of your week, take 5 minutes and reflect on 3 questions. What did I accomplish? Who did I develop? What can my team now do with less dependence on me? Don't stop measuring results. Results matter. But expand your definition of results to include the capability you're building around you. Because leadership isn't about becoming less valuable. It's about creating value that extends beyond what you can personally accomplish. So let's bring these 5 shifts together. Number 1, doing to enabling. Move from being the person who does everything to creating the conditions for others to succeed. Number 2, reacting to responding. Create enough space to choose your response instead of allowing frustration to choose it for you. Number 3, telling to asking. Use questions to develop thinking instead of automatically providing every answer. Number 4, controlling to developing. Give people the clarity, support, challenge, and autonomy they need to grow. Number 5, proving to empowering. Expand your leadership scorecard from what you personally accomplish to the capability you create in others. Adopting a leadership mindset doesn't happen the day someone changes your title. And it doesn't happen because you attended a leadership workshop. It develops through the choices you make repeatedly. So don't try to change everything about the way you lead tomorrow. Instead, look at these 5 shifts and ask yourself, which one do I need to work on? Maybe you need to stop taking over. Maybe you need to pause before reacting. Maybe you need to ask more questions. Maybe someone on your team is ready for an opportunity you've been holding on to. Or maybe you need to stop measuring your leadership value by how much you personally accomplish. Choose one shift. Practice it. Pay attention to what happens and keep practicing. Because leadership isn't something you finally master. Leadership is something you continually become. And every day gives you another opportunity to become the leader you want to be. If you're working on becoming a more intentional and effective leader, subscribe to the channel. And I'd love to hear from you. Which of these 5 mindset shifts are you working on? Share it in the comments. I'll see you in the next video.